Now to the Weekend Report with David Zaev.
On the line to Michael Freund. He is founder and chair of an organization called Shavei Israel. We've had him on the show before. We're getting him now, among other reasons, because of the fact that in a recent article by the Ma'ariv newspaper and its NRG website, Shavei Israel was listed in an article that dealt with the top 100 influential Jews and also some of the organizations that are the most, influential. Shavei Israel, one of them. Michael, tell our listeners, first of all, what Shavei Israel is.
Thanks, David. Shavei Israel is an organization that I founded over a decade ago with the aim of reaching out to descendants of Jews around the world and strengthening their connection with Israel and the Jewish people. We currently are active in a dozen countries worldwide with a variety of communities, ranging from the Bnei Menashe, the sons of Manasseh of northeastern India, who claim descent from a lost tribe of Israel, to the Chinese Jews of Kaifeng, the hidden Jews of Poland from the Holocaust, as well as the Bnei Anusim, or the Marranos of Spain, Portugal, and South America.
In some of these cases, I would imagine, Michael, that you might get some resistance from the religious establishment here as to the, for lack of a better word, authenticity of these Jews?
Well, each case, of course, is very different, and it has different historical circumstances, and so each community is looked at through a slightly different lens. But in general, I think there is a growing acceptance of the fact that there are these communities out there in the big wide world who have a historical connection to the Jewish people and who managed in one form or another to preserve that connection. And now many of them are knocking on our collective door and are asking to be allowed to come back to rejoin the Jewish people. And I believe that we, the State of Israel and the Jewish people, have a moral obligation to reach out to them and to welcome them back into our midst.
You say knocking on your collective door. How is this connection made between these groups, which are rather secluded, to say the least, and your organization?
Well, we have a team of emissaries serving in the different countries, where they work with the local population group and offer them an opportunity to learn more about Jewish history and tradition and culture, and we do so in an environment of openness and tolerance. Clearly, not everyone who has Jewish ancestry is necessarily looking to rejoin the Jewish people, but many of them are simply curious to know more about heritage, about their roots. And I see value in cultivating that connection with them.
But again, they come to you, they come to you, or you know where to look them, search them out, what?
Oh, it's a combination of the two. We are, for all intents and purposes, the only Israel-based organization that is working worldwide with these communities. So in many cases, they find us. And in other instances, once we develop a presence in a particular country, word of mouth spreads, and others soon emerge and look to connect.
You say you're the only Israel-based organization like this. In other words, are there other organizations? Do you work along with others?
There is no other organization that has the global reach that we do. There are other groups here and there which work with particular communities in one format or another, but we are unique in that we are working literally from one corner of the globe to the other, and we work closely with Israeli authorities, ranging from the chief rabbinate to the interior ministry, to assist those who do wish to undergo a formal process of return to the Jewish people and who do contemplate Aliyah.
Okay, so before we wrap up our conversation, you have a group of people from Poland. What's this about?
Well, we work in Poland with young people whose parents or grandparents survived the Holocaust and chose to hide their Jewish identity because of what they endured under Nazism and then communism. And in recent years, many young Poles have been discovering or rediscovering the Jewish roots of their families, and many of them want to know more. So each summer we organize a birthright-style program where we bring about 20 of these young Poles to Israel for a couple of weeks, where they tour the country and they have classes taught in the Polish language, and it gives them an opportunity to learn more about Jewishness and about the state of Israel. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, we have to remember the Jewish people are a small people. The state of Israel is a small country. These lost and hidden Jews, these descendants of Jews worldwide, provide a potential pool that can ultimately strengthen us quantitatively as well as qualitatively.
Michael Freund is founder and chair of Shavei Israel. Michael, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks very much, David.
And finally,